Welcome to Part 5 in Parts. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And this is the podcast where we talk about the Golden Wind JoJo Part 5 anime. This episode...
By arcs.
Yes, by arc. This episode, we're going to be talking about episodes 33 through 36.
Yes.
Which, off the top of my head, I'm going to try and remember. I believe the first one is called... we know the first one's called His Name is Diavolo.
Yes.
Or Diavolo.
Mm-hmm.
The next two parts are The Requiem Quietly Plays.
Yes.
Part 1 and 2. And then the final one, which we just watched today, is called Diavolo Surfaces.
Yes.
So this is a little unconventional for us. We're not quite at... We're kind of like leaking into the next arc.
Yeah, but we want to go until Chariot Requiem is basically done, which it is.
Yes.
So...
pretty much, this is going to be us discussing all the fun stuff. Chariot Requiem, blah, blah, blah. Just final warning before I say anything else. We do spoil, all JoJo's, so...
Yeah, anything kind of relates or we can make relations to, we do that.
Yeah, we don't often just say things like Johnny has a weird fetish where he gets,
bug bite fetish.
To get the mosquito bites. We don't normally drop weird things like that are super late in JoJo, but we sometimes do. So, it feels like so long ago. It's rare for us to wait this long.
Yeah.
Four episodes.
It's just these last two, last part of Part 5, and we're still not sure what's it gonna have the Rolling Stone stuff at all either. So this is the one big arc before the last final fight.
It's I would put money that it's definitely going to have the Rolling Stones.
I don't know.
We're going to... I think we have to do a little housekeeping right now.
Well,
so we're filming this, and it probably should come out tonight. It depends. We're pretty busy tonight. It should come out on the 28th, the Friday, 20th of June. Mm-hmm. But the issue here being, we've got one more episode.
Yes.
I saw some Twitter, great website, that just I see JoJo information, I just take it as fact. There's one episode left that's going to... there's one episode before hiatus. On the 5th of June, we're getting the last episode of this hiatus. So it's next Friday. Then we have to wait until the...
3 weeks.
Final... I think it literally is the 26th. Yeah, we need to literally wait until the 26th. Oh, maybe... Okay, so I need to look at the tweet again. So the issue here being... from what I read, was the summer core... Wait, no. The spring anime core has ended.
Yes.
The summer core is beginning.
Yes.
Core is just what they call seasons in Japan. So the time slot that JoJo takes up is being taken by another anime that I didn't know. The guy put it in the tweet, and I could not read Japanese, so I didn't know what the anime was. So they need to, put JoJo on, a 3-week hiatus so that we can...
Well, that's why, having
finished up.
39 episodes is so weird.
It is weird. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the one last thing I wanted to say. The final day that JoJo will be shown, they're going to be showing the final 2 episodes back to back.
Yes, 1 hour.
So, expect... We're not going to do another podcast until JoJo is over, until Part 5 has ended, so...
Which that might just be the last part and, our whole retrospective of the anime.
Yes, okay, so just to clarify, July 28th, which actually is a Sunday.
Yes.
Which is strange, which we need to talk about scheduling later. But...
We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, we will get there when we get there. July 28th is a Sunday, so this is really strange to me that, this is the way that they handle it.
You gotta make do, man. They have their other anime coming out, too, Fire Force, so... Mm.
Wait, they're doing Fire Force?
Yeah, Dave Retchin is doing Fire Force.
Uh-oh.
So... We'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes out. We'll see how it goes. If not, maybe we'll have another thing between there to keep the whole
I'm sure we will. Well, we'll definitely have another Jokakaka before then.
Yeah.
Because they always come out around the 18th.
So before we talk about any of the episodes, let's talk about the new OP edition.
The
main villain stuff they always add in every...
Yes.
Or at least from part 3, 4, and 5 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't change anything from 1 and 2.
No.
In the OP.
So... But the 3 we had, the time stop with Dio walking, and then the OP continuing once it went off. It was pretty cool.
Oh, well, they do. Okay, to clarify, because I know some fan is going to type, they do the SFX, the sound effects OPs. They have done that ever since the first part.
This one happened yet? I don't think part 5 one happened yet, did it?
No, because it's always the last episode. It's the last time they show it.
And then, part 4 we had just the rewind thing. I really loved I mean, that one's probably my favorite one so far, but this one's really good. That was the most clever, I think. There's something so special about Dio stopping time, and like the music stops and he just like walks,
takes his jolly good time walking by. I fucking love that.
And then you have the Diavolo one where he just like skips time, speaks in Italian.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool. I was telling Sam how I really love that, like the way that they Araki. I think it was the very first time we saw. I don't know if it was consistent, but the first time we see him use the time erase ability when he's fighting Bruno, the world like breaks into pieces and collapses around him, and I thought that was such a cool visual, and I'm glad they like reincorporated that in the OP.
The fact that like King Crimson is a global stand.
It literally is, yeah. It quite literally is a global stand.
Which is kind of hilarious.
It is. This is like the first... Well, I guess the world is technically too.
Yeah. Well,
wouldn't it be funny if the world wasn't? What if the world had like a range of a mile? So like if you're with that...
It's really like a bubble.
Uh-huh.
Like a stasis bubble. Yeah, it'd be very weird. Or just like...
what happened if you were at the very edge of it and like half your body was in and half your body was out?
Or just like what if Pucci like part 6 just like... It just affected like Florida, like just like the little area they were in. Just, like, that's it. He didn't really like think about it too much, or it didn't work out the way he thought it would. Or you forgot one ingredient.
He didn't say stag beetle enough times.
Yeah.
And he didn't pet the baby Dio. Okay,
He did the Evil Dead thing where he says the wrong spell and it doesn't work.
I did not think we were going to be talking about Made in Heaven
right.
when we started this, but hey, there you go. So yeah, we've got some cool... Yeah, the visuals are really cool. Oh, the other thing they changed was the part with Doppio. They like have this cool effect where it's like a sketchy like white effect where it, like over his body, like Diavolo's like color scheme and stuff is appearing.
He's kind of overshadowing him and then transforms, which I really love. But yeah, so we get the whole Doppio escorting Bruno. I love seeing Doppio is the last like main Doppio thing you're gonna get.
Yeah,
for the most part
until he fucking dies.
But yeah, we get the whole Polnareff reveal, which is like one of the best, like, coolest moments in.
I think that was technically at the last episode.
I know. I meant like the actual like Diavolo transforming.
Oh, okay.
Scene.
Diavolo revealing himself
too. Is he reveal and we get the him on the top and the devil on the bottom. The opposite to him being on the bottom, Dio being the god on top.
Oh, that's really good. I've literally never
seriously,
thought about
it's like
that.
The main thing, like always like really.
Well, I avoid fucking JoJo discourse. I avoid like any JoJo conversations that aren't just like cool fan art because I fucking hate JoJo fans.
I'm sure.
Spoilers. I love you guys.
You hate most fans.
I do, and I think that's like a very healthy way of living because fans are terrible. This is someone who has a JoJo fan podcast.
Well, the thing is, like, there are...
I love all you. I love all of our fans, so they're great.
They're just great folks. No, but like you're gonna have those fans that are annoying or like you're way super into it. But like when you meet the people that are like beat you over the head or like annoy you to it, it's really cool. At the convention, just One Piece fans. Like I met a couple really cool ones, and there was a couple like the Luffy cosplayers that would just not shut the fuck up.
I have to say, this isn't me like bloviating or trying to like make our fans feel special, but the people who do post on our stuff, I always like 99% of the time I enjoy. There's like sometimes I'll get a comment that's like, okay, you're either just like a shit poster, which whatever, I don't care, or like you just have an incorrect opinion, and I can't talk to you. But yeah, most of the time I really love our comments. I always, especially comments that are building off like theories that we say.
Yeah,
I find to be like super valuable because it's like, oh wow, you're actually like thinking of things I wouldn't have thought.
Maybe we can talk about the theory of eventually of Diavolo just being a demon. So
hey, I mean, you could make a case for it, I guess.
If people could, someone wrote down the entire theory. I'll go a little bit into that later when we talk about this stuff. But so we talked about the Stan Arrow history. We had that already, but we talked about the whole
Polnareff flashback.
Yeah, Polnareff flashback. I forgot that happened.
Yeah, I was in my head. I think I mixed. I just thought it was like I kept seeing that panel of him and Jotaro, and I thought that was it. But
yeah, and the weird thing, I always thought it was just like, okay, it does whatever it needs to, but it always had the ability to put people to sleep, and it doesn't confirm that it was the body swap as well, because it wasn't active long enough. And Polnareff just had to grab the arrow, and it turned back to normal, which was weird.
Yeah,
I think he went on to say in the episode that like because he was dying and he had such that drive to keep it away from him, it got another ability, which was the soul swap and like turning your stand against each other, and that the 20,000 other powers it has.
So I think the biggest thing, the reason why he was able to just grab it before, was because he was still tied to it.
Yeah.
Whereas now when because Polnareff died, but his soul magically jumped in the turtle. So Polnareff is dead and he's no longer connected to his stand.
Requiem did that to keep him alive so he could keep going or something like that.
Well, he's all I know is that he's no longer connected to his stand.
Yeah.
He even said
it went berserk because
you can kill it, like it doesn't matter anymore. Like I'm not really tied to it.
Since he's barely clinging to life, it went berserk and he had like no control over it.
Yeah, so I think maybe that's why even when they've removed it from its hands,
my favorite thing
it hasn't changed back.
Just like him dropping it behind his dresser and then like, oh man, I'm in a wheelchair. Oops, I better reach for it, and then like gently cut myself.
That is such a hilarious situation, but it's very like
it's like Polnareff would do.
It is a very like a well thought out situation too, because like what other excuse would he have for like cutting himself with the stand?
Scratching his ass with it.
That'd be absolutely hilarious.
I think Polnareff would.
That is a Polnareff move. He would do that.
Yeah, and then we get him getting donut.
Yeah, he gets fucking destroyed.
Again.
Diavolo hates disabled people.
He hates French people.
He does hate French people.
Then we get the whole famous the body swap bullcrap that people love or hate.
I absolutely love this. It was something that I always wondered about, because that's something he never did with the stand before, was like body swapping. And the idea of like you keeping your stand,
I love that. That's my favorite thing.
Is perfect,
especially the anime. They did the best thing, which was keep the voice actors, and they just voice act as those characters, and it was great. All of them did great.
I cannot stress how much I hate the trope because the body swap is like such a common thing. And they always switch the voices because like they're like, all right, the diarrhea-brained audiences won't be able to remember that Mista is in Trish's body and vice versa. So,
I thought Giorno was Arch's voice coming out of him.
I know! The voice actors, I wish you've told me a few of them. Like, obviously, we know that the voice actor for Deku voices Arancha.
Yeah. But
that was seriously one of the greatest performances. Like, the way that they all impersonated each other.
Yeah. Diavolo is Kamina, which is great.
Yeah, I wish we'd seen more of Diavolo, because it would have been cooler to see how different his voice was as Bruno, but obviously...
Well, it was going to be Doppio voice coming out of him, so...
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they all did a really good job, and got all the standard like funny things, mostly with Mista and Trish. People love body swap Trish, or Mista Trish.
I do too. I love, like, especially, I don't know, something hilarious about Trish walking around with a gun, just like blowing cops' faces up. That seriously is like one of my favorite scenes in Jojo, is the scene where the cop who's got the soul to rob, like the criminal, is going around just like fucking people up.
Evil criminal, because if you're in the cop car and you're a civilian, you're going to be the most evil man. He may as well be a vampire in like part 1.
Pretty much. And yeah, like he gets that one taste of power and he goes and kills. But I just love how they're just casually walking down the street, and then Trish Mista pulls out the gun, just blasts his face away. It's like,
and puts the handcuff around the mouth hole while he left the hole to the pole.
Did he do that in the manga? I thought he literally just killed the guy.
In the manga, he did the same thing where he shoots him in the... It looks way more brutal in the manga, but he still has the hole in his mouth and he's still alive, and he handcuffed him. But like the thing is, like he doesn't... like the weird like mom that has the baby in her, like inside of her.
The mom and baby that switch.
Yeah, like he like gets really creepy on the hair before like moving on.
Of course he does.
And also they cut a weird part of like a couple, and like the girl wanted you to go to the bathroom, but she just did not want to like put her pants out. You said, you go ahead. She's like, no, I'm gonna pee my pants. I don't what? I'm scared of penises.
You have to. I guess you have to do that kind of thing. It's like
they cut like a lot of like the weird things like that. They surprisingly kept the criminal thing. I'm happy they did.
This is kind of random, but I feel it's kind of applicable because what you're saying about that whole thing. In Frank and Fran, there's one issue where she's doing a bunch. She goes back to school. Frank and Fran is, long story short, it's pretty much like a monkey's paw manga about like horrible surgery. So there's...
Cute Frankenstein girl does monkey paw wishes.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's a guy who's in love with this girl, and she's like terrified of men because she had a horrible scarred past, and he really wants to be with her. So little do they know, they both get surgery to like change their bodies.
It's just like a retelling of like he gets the girl a comb, but she shaved her head by him. Yeah.
Your classic O. Henry. What do they call that? The fuck, I know the author. O. Henry wrote it. The story. It's like she got he got her comb for her hair, but she sold her hair to get him like a mustache box or one. I don't know. Whatever. Like it's a funny story. It's a monkey paw, catch-22, whatever. All these words. But so long story short. She gets surgery to have his body, to like have a man's body, and then he gets surgery to have her body, because since she's afraid of men, he's like, oh, if I keep my head but like turn my body into a woman's body, she'll be able to be with me. So it's just hilarious because like they both swap their bodies essentially, except their faces are the same. It's just really funny, and it's not really relevant anymore, I guess.
But yeah, so yeah, the whole the voice actors all did great. But basically, it's just looking for. I just love like Bruno telling Mist to just shoot his body, which is like hilarious. So
shoot Bruno's body.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I really love Mystic gets put in a lot of really like difficult situations because he's got like the best stand for this.
Yeah.
There's so much hesitation for him, which I thought was really good. This is where Mist's character is.
Mrs. Gunn dies.
Peak. Mrs. Gunn does die,
but he also like almost shoots himself because luckily Spice Girl can work at like millisecond,
literally quicker than a bullet.
Yeah. And also the thing of like the stand reversing on itself, which I love. Which does Yo-Yo Ma do that? Not Yo-Yo Ma, the Green Baby do that. Or that just make the shrinks you.
Green Baby just forces you to shrink, I think. Yeah, because the closer you get to it, the smaller you get. Yeah. Infinitely. So if you jump towards the Green Baby, you would fall forever, which is the most horrifying thing. And
yeah, because like, but yeah. So what did I say? I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. So the idea of like the stands turning. Right. There's some really cool visuals of like Giorno reaching for the arrow and then like. Gold Experience's hand is like coming out of his hand, but the opposite way.
Yeah,
I think that's it is really cool because it creates like a situation where they can't touch the thing because reality itself is like forcing them to not be able to.
Love Sex Pistols like kicking him and that like once they deflect or soften the bullet, it like kicks him until it like snaps out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I really love like what if like Diavolo like appeared when that happened or like try to do something and like what would happen? Because, like, he himself is basically King Crimson.
Yeah.
So would he just, like, be attacking the body he's hiding in, I guess, then?
Uh-huh.
Because he is the Stan?
Yeah, it's really weird. This whole scene with, like, what he ends up doing to... Like, later on, we see in the newest episode, where he, like, donuts Mista. Or, no, he donuts...
Trish in Mista's body.
Yeah, he donuts Spice Girl, which causes Mista... to fly backwards very fast. Or maybe he throws Mista very fast. So he's still tied to that body.
Both.
I think... I know that it makes a more interesting scenario for him to be locked to a body, but I think it would have been really cool if King Crimson was, like, freed from this and he was able to just maneuver on his own.
I'm surprised he didn't, like, somehow, like, get close up to Naranj's, like, corpse, empty body and just, like, use it and, like, make them, like, freak the fuck out, like, having... I think the reason why Giorno was able to do that was just because it is just his bullshit. Still, like...
that he's able to, like, do life force.
But even then, Diavolo's not in his own body.
Yeah.
Diavolo.
It's really weird, too, because, like... Diavolo is only ever able to take control when he, like, transforms the body.
He only puppeteers the body, which is... he puppeteers Church by, like...
Mrs. Body, yeah.
Somehow, like, making Spice Girls move, even though I don't think he could, like, do that, but... I think, with 2 arms, it makes him run.
Yeah, after a while, I think it's supposed to just be implied that he's forcing Trish to move.
Yeah,
he's not physically. Because he's like threatening to kill her. She's just moving.
I guess
on his own.
So
on her own.
Let's talk about Naranja's the death of like thinking of a life after the main villain fight, and that's this big death card of having a margarita pizza, which you never talk about.
I know when that scene happened, and the whole thing with Fugo, and I was like,
that was a great addition. If you didn't, on there.
Yeah, it was okay. We'll talk about that in a second. But like the whole thing with him being like, "Oh yeah, we won, we did it." It was like if you didn't know Naranja was gonna die, like you should have been expecting it there.
Like I'm gonna go back to school.
Yeah,
it was Fugo. And then he gets gated, fenced.
He gets fenced, which is so interesting. It's so cool.
He skipped time, and King Curly came out and just like lifted up and just like deep into the fences because he had to use sticky fingers to get him out. He's like,
yeah, I thought that was really like horrifying, kind of like how they had to use sticky fingers there, because that's how deep he was on there. Very interesting. But
I do love the shot of just having like Aerosmith go around this location, then just seeing Fugo, and it's like, oh wow, you actually like didn't.
That scene was very touching because you see like Aerosmith's like shadow, and then when it pans up, it's actually a bird that flies into heaven, and I was like,
remember the purple haze feedback? Huh?
Yeah, everyone is so fucking like
hungry for that.
Just read it. Just read it and enjoy it. I'm sure.
No, they don't want to read a light novel. They want to watch a light novel.
I mean, I don't even blame them. I would. I don't want to read it.
I would die. I would die.
I would die. No, I don't want to read a light novel either. Fuck that.
So yeah, Naruto's dead, and you have the image of him with the grass growing or the flowers growing around him, which is.
It was very touching. Yes. I do love Giorno is like. These are like Giorno's few good moments.
The
where
second
he's, like,
time,
very touching.
he had to like bury someone in flowers.
I think the Abakio scene is just so much more powerful, though.
Oh yeah, she has the whole like being satisfied with his death, or like moving on with the whole partner thing. Where Naruto just kind of dies, doesn't really have like a goodbye.
Fucked. Yeah, Naruto gets like real fucked.
It comes out of nowhere too.
It might be like one of the more cruel like deaths I think Araki's ever done.
Yeah,
because with Abakio had like a whole character conclusion.
Yeah,
he had a thing where he was able to be useful by like putting the death mask. Remember he turned what's Purple Haze? No, not Purple Haze. What's it called? Moody Blues. He turns Moody Blues' face into Diavolo and he smashes it into the stone so they have the death mask. So he doesn't die in vain. Yeah. But Narancia like literally dies in vain. He doesn't have a conclusion of his character arc.
They literally had to take out the recon guy.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was killed first. But it doesn't make it like it feels like very cruel to me.
It's not
that this is a bad thing. I just think it's just it's
kind of like Abdul in part 3, where it's just like a sudden thing that happened. Yeah. It's very cruel. He just came back, kind of thing, and then
the Abdul one might be even more cruel because there's like the whole idea of like being fake out too.
Do we count Iggy as being cruel because it's animal cruelty of kicking a dog right down?
Aw, Iggy one makes me really sad. Have you ever seen? I think I've talked about it before, maybe on this
you told
same
me
podcast.
The part 3.
Yeah, the part 3 OVA, the Iggy death scene is like fucking brutal. It hurts to watch.
Rocky hates dogs.
Yeah, they really ran with that idea.
There's just a lot of like those impactful deaths. Like Shingeki is very brutal. Too.
Okay, I take it. I didn't realize how many. Shigechi might be the most cruel because it literally is like
he's a middle schooler,
a child being murdered,
very close to getting to his friends by a serial killer.
A child that literally has just made his first 2 friends.
He stole a serial killer's sandwich out with a hand.
Doesn't it literally in the manga? It literally happens like the chapter after they do the whole money adventure, like. Literally, where they friends with them for like a week.
Where they changed the order in the anime to make it like so he stays around a little bit more.
That was nice. That was very good. I think.
So because they went that, then it went Cinderella, and then it went Shingeki.
Cruel.
It is. Jojo's very cruel.
I think the Shigechi. Okay, I have to say.
Rank your brutal deaths.
It's really sad, and the Naruto one's sad, but like. Shigechi's just fucking mean. He just died.
The shit kid.
He was a shit kid, but so is Narancia. Narancia's a shit kid too.
I'd rather have.
But
he looks like a normal like child. Not like a mutant like
spiky monster.
A spiky monster. But yeah, so definitely, I think they did a good job though because they made everybody mourn over with that because they kind of extended with everybody crying and everything. Where I feel like in the manga wasn't nearly as a long mourn.
It does feel. I think that's the tendency of like reading manga. It can make things go quicker. Yeah. And I think that's a really good point. I think it's really important for the pacing of the arc because we get this like really comical scene where we have all the characters swapping bodies, and it's like it's really jarring because this is like Bruno pretty much died. Like they thought Bruno died, and they're having this like really funny scene. So I think they kind of needed to take the tone back.
Also, the shot of Diavolo running and the sticky fingers comes out of him. It's like really awesome.
That is fucking awesome. I love that scene so much.
And the Bruno's here, then who's over there? Also, just Polnareff being a turtle is fantastic.
I haven't even talked about that. And yeah, it's so funny because like they all keep their voices. The bodies keep their voices, except the dog. The man that swaps with his dog, he talks, and Polnareff just has his voice. And it's not even like his voice is like coming out of his ghost. It's literally coming out of the turtle's mouth.
Yeah, it's great. I love
Fucking
that.
hilarious.
It's amazing.
Peak JoJo. I really do love the end of part 5. It's wacky as hell, but that's why I love it.
It's strange. For, like, as, like... I don't know. I always feel like it's so weird compared to some of the other fights we got in part 5.
Compared to part 5, yeah, I think it's on the weird factor. I think it's about as equal. Maybe it's probably more weird than the end of part 1. Part 1 is fucking strange at the end. Like, Dio creates like a monster army. Like, he literally creates like Frankenstein eldritch abominations.
He has like the 2 legendary undead knights kind of thing.
Well, they're like normal compared to the stuff that comes later.
They have backstories and everything, and he just like redeems like one of them. One or two. I think it's one of them. The other one just doesn't care.
Well, yeah, Bruford gives Joseph the Sword of Luck and Pluck, so that's, I guess, his redemption. But Tarkus is just an asshole that kills Speedwagon. No, sorry, I always mix them up. Zappel, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It definitely, I forgot like how weird part 1
The end of part 1 gets fucking weird. Like, Dio creates like humans with dog bodies, or he like he puts like human heads on dog bodies.
I guess what the power vampires have.
He creates an entire army, or he creates a death squad of 4 guys that are all named after Led Zeppelin, all the members of Led Zeppelin.
And then part 2 is weird when you describe it, but it's pretty normal.
It's pretty normal. Story
where okay, then they fight the 3. Yeah, they fight 2 Aztec guys. One in like a chariot race, the other one in a fight. But the Nazis show up to help fight the last one, but it turns him into a super Mayan man with wings and animal. Just hands her to a squirrel. You know.
Yeah, this is a funny thing about the end of some parts where reality starts to bend and like weird body horror happens. It's like Araki just wants to slip in some last body horror.
All the weird stuff you like describe in part 2, it works so much with all the context of part 2. But like,
it does. I think the weirdest part is him turning his hand into a squirrel. That might be that might be the strangest part in all of part 2.
It's great though.
Oh, there's a lot of weird scenes, like the part when he turns spaghetti into a weapon.
the ink spaghetti.
Yeah, the Nero, whatever.
Yeah.
Not Risotto Nero. Not Risotto Nero. Whatever. Alright, this has been a long tangent about the ending of parts. And well, let's just let's talk about the rest of them really quick. Part 6, really weird ending.
Yeah.
Part 4, pretty normal ending. Part 7,
amazing.
Part 7, another crazy ending.
It's crazy, but awesome.
Part 8 ending, total disappointment.
We'll get there.
Total disappointment. There was no bodyguard. Johnny showed up again. It was weird.
Some guy with a surfer with abs came out with missing his fingers.
I love him. Are you a man of the land or a man of the sea, Sam?
I'm not a seaman, so I'm probably a man of the land.
Fucking funny, dude.
I'm hilarious. So yeah, we get more the them running around each other's bodies.
So yeah, we're kind of jumping all around.
Should we talk about Chariot Requiem then?
Yes.
So
actually, no. I'm just kidding.
I love the design in the manga more than I liked it in the anime.
It didn't.
It's like a weird plastic wrap around.
And they even addressed that. They addressed the fact that it like does look like a black, like plasticky. I forget exactly. Sorry.
It looks.
It looked so much cooler
in the manga,
especially the panels where it's very far away, walking slowly away.
I felt you didn't really see the face. Always felt way more hidden in the manga.
Yeah, especially because it was all like really shaded dark. I wish they would have given it like a more proper design. And
it's always because this one is more so Cherry getting like a layer on top of him, where like when you get Gold Experience, it like cracks, it like comes underneath it to Gold Experience. Interesting.
That's why to me it's kind of a bummer, because Gold Experience gets a full redesign when it gets, and it looks like what a Requiem stand would look like. It looks like a crazy hyper version of a stand.
It kind of has like the King Crimson kind of face on it when you get to it. But
it's kind of like Super Saiyan 4. Not like in the way that it looks, but the way that it's like we've taken like a stand design and just completely done something weird and insane with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I wish we would have seen that, and also there's a part where Polnareff tells Mista to hit one of the pistols with it. Would have loved to have seen what the pistols would look like.
I know.
They all just turn into guns.
Or just like
six guns floating around.
It's a giant one.
A giant bullet. Oh my god, that'd be incredible.
It's like a mech where they all come together.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
It
Each
looks
hand,
it looks like the banana mech looking from a Gurren Lagann, like it looked like that.
Because that would actually be perfect. Because like,
and he would be number 4. so yeah. And but I do love the hat. The hat on Requiem is so fucking cool.
The design, like the silhouette of Requiem Silver Chariot Requiem is so cool. I just don't like the close-ups. It doesn't look good to me.
Yeah, it's also a complete fucking idiot.
It's also okay. So I'm gonna preface this. You're gonna be reading like a description of what happens, how they beat it. So I understand, to preempt that a little bit, I do understand that it is supposed to be related to a shadow.
It's very weird, because it starts out pretty simple, souls, put people to sleep, swap their souls, keeps it away, put your stand against you, it basically keep you away from the arrow. And then it just gets more and more stuff keeps coming out of it.
It becomes like an evolutionary stand. Like, it is just inciting evolution to happen instantly, which sounds like something from part 6.
It's going to merge the soul and body to make it something new or something like that.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we've seen Akira here. It's kind of like the end of Akira. Like, it's just like horrifying growths happening, and it's supposed to be like
grows a crab out of him.
It's like a crab barracuda. It's really weird. And it's got like a barracuda head.
It was like Mista Trish or Trish Mista, like finger like breaking out, like metallic or something.
Yeah, I thought it was probably supposed to be like bugs chitin. Like it kind of like bugs can kind of look like that.
I don't know. So someone actually on one of the discussion threads put a good explanation of Requiem or Silver Chariot Requiem. So the stand is described by Diavolo.
His name is
Diavolo, as being the shadow of one's soul, because Silver Chariot Requiem's shadow is unique to anyone it affects. To put it simply, you and Chariot are linked to one another, which is why no one can attack it either, because you're essentially attacking yourself. If there's a shadow, then there must be a light source that casts that shadow. If everyone has their own personal shadow for their soul, represented through Chariot, then they should also have a light for their soul too. So if you destroy that light cast by your soul, you destroy the shadow of your soul, which is Chariot.
So this is extremely cool. I wish that it wasn't resolved in literally 12 seconds.
Yeah.
King Crimson pieces this together. I don't remember it being so abrupt in the manga. Maybe it was. King Crimson figures this out literally in 4 seconds.
He basically has that monologue as well.
Yeah, like if they'd even mentioned the aspect that the shadow wasn't consistent to what other shadows are doing, because maybe it was in the animation. I try not to look at the ground at JoJo sometimes, because they do like a shitty 3D.
Oh yeah, especially with part 5 in a lot of the cities where it's been CG or look really weird. Like, I don't blame you for that.
Yeah, anytime there's like they show a character walking, and you see it a lot in modern anime. They'll do a CG a CG ground that the characters walk on, and so yeah, I try not to look at the ground. But so I think that is such a cool idea, and then the way that we see King Crimson destroy his the light that is casting a shadow.
It looked like it was just like a weird core inside of Silver Chariot, which
but it was from behind him.
Yeah.
So okay, my problem is that it literally doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. This is a part of Requiem when he adds this weird stuff to it, other than just you make you think you just get the arrow and you're good.
Yeah, it's just weird, and I think it's such a cool idea.
Because the flashback made it seem like you get the arrow and it stops.
Yeah, there was nothing. I don't know.
That whole light thing being added in there was very weird.
Unless maybe we're supposed to intuit that because he no longer is connected to his original stand. What do you say? Stand user. He's not connected to Polnareff anymore. He doesn't have
the off switch.
Yeah, no, maybe because he's sharing that with the other humans now, you know what I mean? His connection isn't with one person, but it's with everyone in range.
Yeah, I guess.
This is such just conjecture and pointless. Even the speculation we're doing is utterly pointless and useless, and will literally go nowhere.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to figure this out, dude. I don't know.
This is always the if you heard from a lot of people, get ready, anime only people, because this is when it gets kind of crazy, the stuff people don't like about part 5 is this part, if people have any real big problems.
Well, people originally had a lot of big problems with part 5.
Well, for translation, but now, a lot of people hyping up the fight, but people are oh, get your butts ready for this whole end part, because it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think that people are going to come they're gonna come out of it like pretty positively, I think.
I think so, but we'll see. And
especially the fucking Diavolo Infinite Death Spiral is like probably one of the coolest, actually one of the more cruel things Araki's done. We need to do a cruel cast about all the cruel things Araki's done.
Dogs.
He's very cruel to a lot of his characters.
Animals.
Which is very funny. Every time I think about this, I always think about him not wanting to use Fugo as an enemy to the main cast because I think the quote says it literally would break his heart.
Yeah, he didn't want friends to fight friends or something like that.
Says the guy who murders every dog that looks at him. I love Araki. I just think it's really funny.
The dog in Part 8 has been going through, like, survived many stand fights that have happened in their state.
He has kind of vanished for, like, the past year, though.
He's still alive, though.
Iwasuke? I don't know. Iwasuke? No, whatever.
So...
Can't speak Japanese.
So, yeah. That's our Chariot Requiem discussion about that.
Okay, is there anything else?
I love seeing Spice Girl again. Like, I think the stand doesn't get able to show up enough.
Yes. I actually thought that it was an anime original moment when Spice Girl turned the bullet into rubber. But that was from the manga, yeah. But
it's also the part when she summons him and King Crimson grabs it. It's also a shot.
Yeah, that was having that one scene is so cool where it's King Crimson in his stand form. And then Trish in her stand form. Sorry, I meant Diavolo, not King Crimson. But they're both talking to each other through their stands. It's like the most intimate connection these characters have ever had and ever will.
They're both kind of stands, but they kind of talk through it. But Spice Girl originally was like automated one that would talk to her.
Yeah, this is just supposed to be Trish talking through Spice Girl. Like Spice Girl just forgot how to talk, I guess.
Happens. She got forgotten.
But I just thought that was really cool, and so Trish having agency in this moment to stop of course it doesn't work because he ends up fucking throwing a corpse.
Getting something over her father.
Yeah, having that moment is so good, and because it's the only time Trish ever has a moment like this besides the big fight, because they just give her stand so late.
Yeah.
I wish that she got her stand so much earlier.
I really did. I'm glad the anime did a really good job with the one she got, because that became one of my favorite episodes.
Definitely. That's probably one of the most successful episodes of the anime, I think.
Yeah. We also got their little goodbye to Doppio a lot later than it was in the manga. Mm-hmm. In this, where he's dying in Bruno's body and went the one last phone call from Boss.
I know that Doppio is actually a murderer. He's actually a sociopath murderer.
He dug a body.
He killed a body and dug a hole for it.
And then killed a priest that
yeah, but I cry every time I think of the scene because it's just this poor little boy is blind and deaf and dying in a body that he doesn't even know where he is.
Remember when he murdered that fortune teller in the alleyway?
Well, that was Diavolo.
Oh, it was both.
He got big though, didn't he?
He morphed. He halfway morphed.
Can you really blame the murder for both people? This is a big semiotics question, I guess.
It's Jojo. People die. So there's people the fan theory of Diavolo just being an actual demon and not a human. Because the circumstances of his birth are impossible. The boy that would become the boss had nothing but that suggested that he wanted to become a drug lord up until his mother was discovered under the floor. And the fact that weak-willed individuals being abused by their own stands had precedence makes the idea that Diavolo one day up and possess Doppio.
So this is why JoJo fans are awful, and they all need to stop talking and just don't ever post on Reddit.
That's why people consider King Crimson as the main villain, Part 5, not actual Diavolo.
Wait, what?
Because King Crimson is the demon,
but King Crimson is Diavolo. They are I think this
at the end of this arc would be the stand technically, and King Crimson would be the actual demon.
Oh, sheer heart attack is actually it's fucking JoJo.
I mean, they have stands that possess people. That could happen.
I don't buy it. I think that we're already overlooking a huge part of Diavolo / Doppio's backstory, which is that his mother was born or had essentially a 2-term pregnancy. Or sorry, yeah, 2-term pregnancy.
She kept herself pregnant for forever.
She was pregnant for I get
kept it in. She
kept it in. Okay, so I think what they were alluding to was the fact that she was at an all-woman prison with all-woman guards. So it's supposed to be the idea of like a divine birth.
It's kind of like supposed to be like Jesus, but like not like but way longer.
Yeah,
and, like, probably a lot more like Antichrist like.
But like, why wouldn't it just be a stand? Why does it have to be like a demon? That's so fucking stupid.
Because his name is literally Devil.
Oh yeah, Diavolo. But I don't know.
He's literally Devil.
But Devil's the king of the demons. He's not a demon himself.
Just like Naranjo was possessed by an orange. And Aerosmith was just an orange possessing a boy.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
Everybody was like that.
Every character is just a fragment of Prince's personality.
Pesci was like Beach Boy was actually like Anubis, which possessed the fishing rod and made his neck look like that. Because no child would look like that.
Turn into pure rubber.
Yes.
Whatever. I mean, JoJo fans are gonna speculate, but
I think, but King Crimson definitely feels like the most important main villain stand, just because it's such a character on its own.
Well, what do you mean, like, most important main villain stand?
Because the stand felt like a character, more so than Killer Queen or the World. It felt like a character.
Yeah,
because he talked through King Crimson more than he talked through himself.
It does the identity, like this whole end arc. I wanted to say this earlier. This whole end arc is like it really just it ties Diavolo to King Crimson directly. Like they are one entity.
Yeah,
thinking of them as like separate doesn't make sense. The same way that you think of Trish and Spice Girl.
I always feel Diavolo, like his like persona is King. I associate King Crimson more to Diavolo than his actual like body.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I'm really going to say, because it felt like more like a character.
I totally understand where that person's coming from, but I absolutely hate them and I hate their logic. I disagree. I don't.
It's an epic theory, so
yeah, I don't know.
But we get the whole like stare down with like the whole body exchange and the body, like everybody, like, I need a
Jorno has to check each body who is King Crimson in, and of course me, an enlightened manga reader, knows it's in Mista's body, which is sharing its soul with Trish.
Yes.
But I do love that standoff and how like
standoff
Bruno Bruno is, it's so fun because like in my head I know Bruno is like dying, and Bruno kind of is like on his like last legs, but now it's like Bruno's back. It feels like Bruno's back for a little bit, and the way he like takes control of the situation, tries to defuse. He's still giving orders, and like I don't know. I love Bruno so much. The part when he's like, "Jorno, check me first," because they're all like Jorno's like, "I should check Trish because blah blah blah, Trish's body," but he's like, "No, check me." Like Bruno's a fucking awesome guy. Awesome guy. I love him.
He's the best boy of Part 5. Many people agree with that.
He definitely is the best boy, and I love him very much.
But and then what's it called? And then we get the whole, you get the reveal and everything, and then basically just the arrow is broken and just going cross. It just keeps going fighting back and forth between everyone.
There was some stupid things, like I think Jorno turning his blood into ants was a little weird. I guess because the blood got on the
ants.
So here's the biggest thing with Jorno that I think a lot of people have a problem with: the idea that he seemingly can just do what, like, he can activate gold experience whenever he wants. He doesn't need to like premeditate. Because when he got his arm cut off, are you really telling me that he thought, I'm going to imbue the blood that's squirting out of my arm with the gold experience, with the knowledge to turn into an ant right now? Because I don't remember, but gold experience would have to have a really big range, right? Like, otherwise it wouldn't be able to affect. But then again, like, it also turned to...
We learned the number one rule of gold experience, it can do whatever the fuck it wants.
Yeah, it is pretty much a Requiem stand already.
You don't need Bruno to retouch limbs, you have Jorno can just do that as well. Because you have two healers.
I miss that time when you had to like just re-zipper your hand on.
Yeah, he can just literally just glue it back on. He just flops.
Which is really cool.
Like when you have throat ripped out, you just like I got a new throat, put that square right back in.
Oh no.
Your cat. Oh no. The cat a hairball? I hope they can hear that on the podcast. That'd be great.
Hold on 1 second.
Alright, you want to pause it or let it go?
No, we'll let it go. Molly, I'll take it off.
This is Jim's cat giving a hairball. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but...
No, it's not a hairball. She's got allergies.
Oh, she has allergies.
I'm gonna edit all this up.
Well, give your energy to Molly, because she had her allergies.
Precious kitten.
And let me listen to Jim. Your theories are all good to me.
Poor kitty.
I support your theories, no matter how ridiculous they are. We all have them. That's why our Part 8 stuff is all ridiculous theories.
Oh, Mom.
You okay? Is she okay? This is great.
Molly, are you okay? You're gonna throw up good there, please. Alright, let's try and finish.
Is your cat okay?
She's just been kind of weird lately.
I can imagine. I guess so.
If she's had a hairball, she'd be over. Alright, I'm gonna clap really big.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Alright, where were we?
Now, we're basically done, because the episode just, the arrow going back and forth, essentially, and then Diavolo being launched. That's pretty much it.
I do love how it becomes like a keep away sort of game where it's like, okay, we have to get the arrow. It's fun. It's a fun set piece for the ending of the part.
Yeah. So, and that's basically it. And we get the King of Kings next.
Yeah, the next episode 37,
probably
is King of Kings.
And probably a Gold Experience Requiem, and then maybe the Sleeping Giant?
Sleeping Slaves.
Sleeping Slaves.
So my prediction, which I think this is pretty I've heard a lot of people pretty much say this already. So the next episode, we're gonna get
basically probably Jorno getting the arrow.
Getting the arrow, potentially even inserting it into himself, putting it like a suppository up his butt. Then we have to wait 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
July 28th.
July 28th, and then we're gonna see, I think the first half's gonna be Sleeping Slaves. No, okay. Based on how the chapters go in the manga, we're gonna get the conclusion where Jorno fucking destroys Diavolo, puts him through hell a million times, times a million times. Then we're gonna get Sleeping Slavs. Then we're gonna get the conclusion, which is just the end part that you've already seen in the OP. And this is just me going by how the manga's structured.
Yeah.
Sometimes David Pro just adapt it perfectly. They adapt it everything perfectly. Or with Part 5, we've seen them shuffle, remove tiny scenes.
They did it with Part 4 as well, though. They
shuffled Part 4 the most, I think.
But they did it well, though.
There's an awesome channel, a YouTube channel. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Haman Beat. And all he does is obsessively go through every element that is adapted from the manga, and he did it for the movie too, which is really funny, the live action movie.
Oh, okay.
What they changed from the manga and the anime.
Movie.
And I'm pretty sure the video he did on what they changed from Part 4 manga to anime was the longest, because he went through how they reshuffled all the events of the final day.
Shingeki stuff.
Yeah, they reshuffled those elements as well. They added a few background characters that recur, which is really weird.
Yeah, because I remember
they never noticed that until he mentioned it.
Yeah, there's one episode where they basically talk or warn everyone about Kira, and you see Tony I'll talk to my customers, see if they know anything, and Cinderella goes there, maybe I'll look into that or something like that.
Yeah,
I that's interesting.
I think that they did a pretty good job at
remember how
capturing the whole town.
Remember in Part 4 how they beat someone and then just make them work with them eventually.
Yep, that's how you make friends. You have to beat them up first.
They're with the guy, the puppet stand.
Surface,
Highway Star, which I love him.
Highway Star's great. Whose name is Yu, and I'll never forget that because Yu is a funny name.
Sure. It has stupid face tattoos to say Highway Star.
I know, it says H star S.
Stupid.
It doesn't make any sense.
Just do one. You can do one or the other. You can't do star and the S.
I know.
Or they call Highway Stars plural, but not.
Highway Stars, yeah. Highway Star is awesome.
Yeah, that's why everybody's very curious of what they're doing at the end.
Yeah, I would put money on the fact that they are going to be adapting,
or make them into OVAs.
No. They can't. Because the whole thing, a lot of our commenters actually, we got a lot of responses last time. People were saying how they felt it was really important. Sleeping Slaves was very important to summarizing a lot of the themes of the part, which I can relate to. I totally think that's cool. But for me, it feels like the idea of putting the foreshadowing after it happened, to me, is doesn't make sense. It's just okay, yeah. So you're telling me, you're trying to tell me that this was foreshadowed, except it wasn't actually foreshadowed.
What if before the anime aired, they aired this as a preview or episode 0 kind of thing of having
the problem is it spoils all the deaths. That's it. That's what we felt. I think we mentioned before. There's nothing they could have really done.
I know
they have to keep it where it is, and maybe my mind will be changed when I reread it. When I watch it. I'm sure I'll be fine with it. But to me, it feels like an awkward cut. Especially because it happens, like, right after the villain is defeated.
You had the conclusion, and it kind of just goes there, right, into it.
And it feels like Araki really wanted, like, he wanted to do more with the characters that he'd already killed.
Yeah.
Which I totally understand. Like, it's like a nostalgia thing almost. Like, oh my god, I remember Mista. I remember Narancia when they were all friends.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though. I actually, like, one of the interviews, he said if he, like, could, like, write more for a part, like, part 4 was the one he wanted to do. It's pretty funny.
I can see that. I think
he wanted to do, like, if he had more, he would do more of, like, a relationship, like, rekindling of, like, him and Joseph. But I really, like, wish he kind of went back and did that, or, like, have, like, OVAs, like, the Rohan ones, like, or, like, one-off mangas, I guess.
Yeah, and that's, well, yeah, you can see, like, in part 8, he pretty much is just doing, like, part 4 again, kind of, but not really. And then also, a lot of the Rohan ones take place or feature characters that were part of that.
Well, Tonio was just, like, one of them. Was there anyone else that was, like,
yeah, Akira... Wait, not Akira. Akira.
Does he?
Akira shows up briefly.
I know is it the one with Okiyatsu, Josuke, and Koichi show up?
Yeah, they do show up.
For the horrifying OVA we watched.
Yeah, that was from a different one. Weirdly, it wasn't from that episode, or from that, because they're called episodes, the Rohan, even though they're manga. Also, the dude with the weird head, the Lock.
Oh, yeah.
The Lockhart Key, I'll never remember his name.
Yeah,
he shows up too. Yeah, there's a couple characters, but it's more of like a reference, like this is the same world kind of thing.
Yeah, I love those little, like, one-off. I kind of wish if he did just random one-off stories for, like, variety of characters that were still running around. Been really cool, but
I don't want to like make the monkey paw, like, curl one finger back, but reading some of the Rohan OVAs and having not OVAs, you don't read an OVA. Reading the Rohan spin-off one-shots, it's really cool having Araki not be tied down to stand rules anymore. Because
it's all, like, supernatural shit.
Yes, I would if in a sad turn of events, Araki finishes JoJo with part 8, which could happen, we don't know. And he just becomes like what Junji Ito does, where he just releases, like, a lot of one-shot stories. They always get, like, compiled into volumes. But I would be super into that, because I know, of course, like, the JoJo fandom wouldn't be a thing anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be, like, this hype wave of, like, all this history and character. But I love seeing him, like, with a fresh slate, what he can do.
I feel like he just want to do another trilogy of, like, stories, kind of, like, there's, like...
Well, I don't know. Maybe. There's no reason for him to do that.
He went to part 1, 2, and 3 were, like, very heavily connected, where, like, I feel like he wants to do it with 7, 8, and maybe if he does a 9.
I don't know. I feel like it could go either way. Like, I don't think there's, like, a guarantee that he needs to do it.
Yeah, there's not a guarantee.
Especially since, like, the time... Part 8 takes place after part 6. And, I mean, from, like... I know, obviously, that sentence is weird. But timeline-wise, like, part 8 takes place in, like, 2012.
I thought it was, like, 2011. Or starts in 2011.
Maybe. Okay, I think currently it's in 2012. Whatever.
Okay.
If not, whatever. It's at, like, the same time or later than part 6. This is going nowhere. This conversation is just completely semantic. I feel like I'm just going, like, talking to myself.
It's fine.
But yeah.
Get your rant, get your theory out, Jim.
Alright, guys, here's my theory. JoJo's fucking toast. Rocky's gonna kill everyone off. Johnny Joestar is gonna show up, and he's gonna do a big finger gun.
I would cream. I would literally cream if that happened.
Alright, this isn't Jokakaka, though. We shouldn't talk about this.
So
do you want to end it?
Yes, I guess so. So, thank you very much for listening.
I wanted to ask you any final thoughts.
No, like good episode. It's like they did the best they could with this weird stuff they have in here, and the whole what's it called? The voice acting was great.
Yes, the voice acting. I've never had such, like, a strong reaction to voice acting in anime before.
Yeah, that was good, and I think they did a great job with Narancia's death, way better than the manga did for him. And that's basically my opinion for that. So I think pretty good.
Yeah.
So anything else?
Yeah, I want to talk about the Narancia thing again, really, really quick.
Possessed by an Orange, right?
Yes, Possessed by an Orange. No, it's very nice. I think that's the benefit of having, like, adapting a wholly written part, because they know that there's nothing more about Narancia that's set in the series, so they're able to give him that nice moment at the end of that episode.
Yeah.
from a pacing standpoint, it's just very satisfying. And I thought that was a good choice.
Yeah.
Also, people really just, like, obsessed with Purple Haze feedback. Some people were like, dude, the last episode's an hour long. It's going to be Purple Haze feedback.
Well, before people thought it was going to be a separate 1 hour episode.
Yeah, but still, it's like, dude, how do they think a whole, like, novel's going to get crammed into, like, an episode?
Well, like, imagine the hour-long recap episode with Jojo going to Italy and meeting Polnareff as a turtle and just getting the story from him. Would have been amazing.
I would be totally okay with that as a recap episode.
So, but, yeah. So, anything else you want to inquire, or can I just do the plug part?
No, you can just plug it up.
Alright,
you have to sing a plug theme song, though, like Comedy Bang Bang.
I'll get sued. So thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
All three of those things.
Yes, we love to hear your theories or your other thoughts of the episode. Give us your thoughts on what you think the final episodes will be. Because, it's a big discussion among a lot of people right now.
Yeah, a lot of you guys were talking about last time how you felt that the Sleeping Slaves is a really important arc. I'm curious, do you think it's going to be the whole episode? Do you think it's going to be one entire episode, or it's going to be truncated and fit into
cut up?
Yeah.
We'll see. So we also have our part 8 manga discussion, Jokakaka.
There's 3, yes. Just like Jokakaka.
Yes.
Jokakaka.
Just like that fruit that everybody knows.
Yep, the classic JoJo reference that every JoJo fan immediately gets when you say it.
Yeah, we have that. We had one come out like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So if you currently reading that, then you can listen to that.
Hell yeah! Listen to my awesome theories. I was really proud of some of my theories about Ojiro.
I agree with some of them.
Which is a first.
So yeah, we also have a Hunter x Hunter discussion podcast where we talked about Greed Island, came out not too long ago. And then we also came out with a Shield Hero spoiler cast for season 1.
Yeah, we've been busy. We've been doing a lot lately.
Yeah. And we have some other stuff coming up, especially with that 3-week gap. We kind of need something there.
Yeah, we'll figure out some stuff to pad it out.
And we have an idea. So, and
yeah.
I said, and yeah. So thank you for listening. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all the plugs, right?
That's it. Oh wait, one last plug. I always keep forgetting to say this. Follow us on Twitter.
That's right, yeah.
Jokakaka is on Twitter.
Yeah, so if you want,
it's called @Jokakaka Podcast, and it's in the description. So click that. Follow us
to see when videos come out. If you don't have the bell or you don't have YouTube, I'll be on Twitter, and you can
fucking ring that bell. Ring that bell till your fucking ears bleed, dude.
Yes, sure. All right, and that's it. Anything else?
Yes. I love you all. Not you. Just kidding. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to go. Bye.
Fighting! Bye. I gently weep.